The FIFA World Cup 2026 format explained. The FIFA World Cup is about to become the biggest World Cup ever, not because of better players, not because of bigger stadiums, but because for the first time in history, 48 countries will compete instead of 32. And if you're confused about how that actually works, you're not alone, because FIFA changed the entire tournament format. More teams, more matches, more knockout games, and somehow it's supposed to be better. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how the FIFA World Cup 2026 works. No confusing FIFA language, no giant rule book, just the simple version, and stay until the end because there's one change that could completely transform the tournament. The big change. Let's start with the headline. The 2026 World Cup will feature 48 teams. The last World Cup in Qatar had 32. That means FIFA just added 16 extra countries. That's the equivalent of adding another entire tournament. Now, why would FIFA do that? Well, more countries means more fans means more viewers, and more viewers means, you know the type, more money. But there's another reason. Countries that rarely qualified before now have a real chance. For many nations, the World Cup dream just became much more realistic. Honestly, that's pretty cool. 3 hosts, 1 World Cup. Here's where it gets interesting. This World Cup isn't being hosted by 1 country, or even 2. It's being hosted by 3, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Imagine organizing a birthday party across 3 houses. Now multiply that by millions of fans. The tournament will be spread across dozens of cities. Teams could play in different countries during the same tournament. That's something we've never seen before at this scale. And because of the huge distances involved, travel becomes a much bigger factor than previous World Cups. Keep that in mind. It becomes important later. The group stage. Now let's talk about the actual tournament format. This sounds simple. It isn't. The 48 teams will be divided into 12 groups. Each group contains 4 teams, just like the traditional format. Inside each group, every team plays the other 3 teams once, so each team gets 3 group stage matches. Win a game, you get 3 points. Draw, 1 point. Lose? Well, you get a motivational speech and 0 points. At the end of the group stage, teams are ranked by points. So far, everything feels familiar, but now comes the twist. Who advances? Normally, the top 2 teams move on. Easy. But with 48 teams, FIFA needed a new solution. The top 2 teams from all 12 groups automatically qualify. That's 24 teams. But the knockout stage needs 32 teams. So where do the other 8 come from? The best third-place teams. Yes, some teams can finish third and still survive. Think of it like getting a second chance after a bad exam. Not ideal. But you'll take it. FIFA compares all third-place teams and selects the 8 best ones. Those teams also advance, which means 24 teams from first and second place, plus 8 third-place teams, equals 32 teams. And now we have a giant knockout bracket. The new round of 32, this is the biggest structural change. Previous World Cup started the knockout stage with the round of 16, not anymore. Now there's a round of 32. That means every qualified team has an extra knockout game to survive. 1 mistake, 1 bad day, 1 unlucky deflection, and you're flying home. This also means more dramatic matches, more upsets, more penalty shootouts, and let's be honest, fans love chaos. The road to the trophy. After the round of 32, everything becomes familiar again. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, third-place match, final, simple. Win and advance, lose and go home. The champion will have to survive more matches than previous World Cup winners. In theory, the best team should still win. In practice, football loves surprises. A lot can happen when one match decides everything. That's why we watch. What does this mean for smaller countries? This might be the most important change. Countries that previously had almost no chance of qualifying now have more opportunities. Africa gets more spots, Asia gets more spots, North America gets more spots. Several regions receive expanded representation. That means millions of fans will see their country reach the World Cup for the first time, and that's a huge deal. Because for many people, the World Cup isn't just a tournament, it's national pride, it's history, it's memories. Expanding the tournament gives more countries a seat at the table. Whether that's good or bad depends on who you ask, but it's definitely changing world football. One sentence sums it up. The 2026 World Cup is FIFA's biggest attempt to make football more global than ever before. But here's the real question. Will a larger tournament create more unforgettable moments, or will it make the World Cup feel less exclusive? We're about to find out. If this video helped make the format finally make sense, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.